Got it.
Ooh, we're there.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The echo from the chamber cannot be ignored.
Hollering effects.
As we transition into this episode of the Book Asylum podcast, a division of Angry Eagle Publishing. And okay, I'm going to stop doing that until I get this to go away.
That sounded cool, though.
Yeah, it did.
Total Coliseum intro.
Right. Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Yes. I couldn't put that on there.
And gone. So we no longer have recording because I can't use that damn computer. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is in fact the Book Asylum. It's definitely been a house of horrors so far. So let's get this party started with Dungeondan, Angel Ramon, Bobbie Blue Check Murphy, our guest this week, who's apparently had one hell of an accident on the way here to the show today. Super duper author guy, really awesome human being, the one and only Derek Barton, everybody. What is up, man?
Not too much. So, like I said, you did tell me we were dressing up in costume, but I seem to be the only one.
No. And so everybody knows the helmet is here. This won't work. This won't work.
Not
at all. That's just not going to work.
Bobbie and I didn't get the memo. Well, no, that's what we're going to claim.
Yeah, they leave us out of all the fun.
Well, at least Bobbie is wearing a cool shirt, so we got that going on.
Fuck you, Phantasm, bitch.
Couldn't see it, ho.
Okay. Touche.
All right, so Derek, man, give us a little breakdown. And first off, where did this idea come from? That looks so damn cool.
It was just a simple idea. I think you probably could say I got it from Silent Hill. The one guy that crawls out of the bathroom stall wrapped up in the barbed wire. Yeah. So it's pretty simple. You just wrap it around and add blood and some liquid latex.
I think it's safe to say your bathroom probably looks like hell right now.
Yeah, it's gonna look like it looks like right now what my wife's probably gonna do to me when she gets home.
Yes.
Got a feeling the costume barbed wire is gonna become real barbed wire.
Yeah. I dropped the bottle of fake blood and it exploded. So that's good.
Awesome.
Goodness, God, you gotta love it. God, this is literally my favorite time of the year is the Halloween season because this is when you really do see people show their creative side. Even like the regular Joe that just drives a truck to work every day, and then all of a sudden they've got this elaborate costume this one day out of the year. Just so cool.
My father actually got me as a young kid, interested in costumes, and I've not been out of costume for Halloween my entire adult life. So
it's awesome. I love it when you drive around and you see people that are in costume in their cars.
That is a sight, ain't it?
It's fun.
You look over, there's Pinhead, and you're like, what the hell? Oh, it's Pinhead. That's cool. We're good. Now, Dan, everybody knows you just watched the show at some point, has heard about your makeup effects background and whatnot. How would you rate Derek's masterpiece?
Oh, please don't. It was thrown together, so it's nothing.
Well, you see, that's why it gets a high rating when you just come up with something like that, and it looks really cool. You got plenty of blood going on, yet you're still able to function without, constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
I give you. Let's go 7 out of 10. That's a good rating.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Same here.
All right, well, let's move it on along now to the reason for the season why this man is here. He happens to write books, if y'all didn't know. And if you didn't know, you're about to find out today. And we're going to start right here with this one that I'm currently reading called Elude. When did this idea first come to you? And how much time have you sunk into this? Because this is a series. This is just the first book, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's see. I think that one came out in 2019. And I just thought it'd be a really cool character to have someone who is being framed as a patsy for a serial killer. And that's basically what the whole story is. A young kid who made a mistake is now out of jail. He, joyrided as a kid, got involved with the wrong people, and just kind of, lost his way. Now he's trying to redeem himself. And suddenly he finds himself in the middle of a murder investigation and he's being targeted. And the bodies keep dropping and they keep pointing to him. So he's got the whole purpose of the book is basically he's eluding the police as well as the real serial killer.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yep.
So it's a hell of an idea, and I'm invested in this. Like, okay, I got the first book. Now I just got to get the rest of them because I do want to know how he gets through this. Because
my inspiration for it is I know everybody starts off, at least my age, everybody starts off reading Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
And I read most of his when I was a young teenager. I read most of his books, and then I kind of dropped off and was reading Dean Koontz and Clive Barker and other people. And one day I picked up read the back of Stephen King's Mr. Mercedes, and something about it just kind of, piqued my interest. And I read that book, couldn't put it down, and it became like it's one of my favorites by Stephen King. It really is. It's about a guy who uses an old Mercedes to plow into a group of people waiting online in front of a building. And Stephen King actually used that from a real story headline. So I just thought that was really intriguing how he used real events and put horror elements to it to make a story. And he's always known for his great characters, and that's a great series. It really is. It becomes a cat and mouse kind of thing with the detective versus serial killer. So that's what inspired me to write Elude. I wanted to do a real story or a real person being affected by supernatural and horror-like elements in the story.
Yeah, Dan, I'm telling you, you're going to dig it. You're going to dig it. No two ways about it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put that on my to-buy list.
Me too.
So, the one thing I did was, because I wrote it, kind of used another idea from Stephen King. His Green Mile story, when it first came out in 5 parts. So you had to wait like 6 months in between each part. It was killing me. So I thought, if I could do that will intrigue the readers and bring more engagement. There'll be one you didn't know how it ended. So I ended up writing all 3 books that way, piece by piece. And then recently I combined them all, and I'm going to be releasing probably this next month the combined complete series.
Oh wow!
So I got a brand new cover for it.
I
added some
working
bonus
on
material. So it is on Elude's also on Audible, and I have a really good SW Salzman did the audio for me, and he did.
I'm going to be hanging out. I'm going to be hanging out with him next month.
He's awesome.
Story. Can't wait to meet him, man. I cannot wait to meet him. But he's going to be in town for some stuff, and
he's a true attribute. He's a true essential attribute to the horror field, in my opinion. He does a lot of good books, and he's very, very talented.
But the first time I encountered him was listening to Javin Bond's his Still Alive series, and him doing the voice of Mo and Smokes and everybody. And I just love the way he got Smokes talking, motherfucker. We don't play that shit around here, honky. We will beat your ass. And he's so good, and he can transition between those 2 characters. And I can do some Mo. It's like, well, hot damn! Every time I think I figured it out, I got it fucked up.
You do pretty good, Smokes.
See, Smokes is my strong suit, but
yeah,
jump back and forth between them the way he does, I can't. There's just no way. I I get stuck on one or the other of them. And dude, he's a pro. He is a legit pro.
So how much time did it take you to sit down and actually map out your entire series before you even started with book one? Or did you do it differently than that?
I kind of did it a little different than that. I knew where I wanted to go with the story. I knew how I was going to end it, but I didn't quite have everything pieced out, in detail. So what I did was I'm a plotter. I don't write by the seat of my pants. I have to have a detailed outline. My first book, Consequences Within Chaos, which is a fantasy, epic fantasy story. I did a 60-page bullet outline for that one. So
wow,
yeah,
60 pages. It's like that's like a Cheeseman, man. He has a whole book just as an outline. It's crazy.
So it becomes your outline becomes your rough draft almost that way. But I found that with my horror, I am able to write easier and have a smoother flow of it than I do with my fantasy. With fantasy, you have a lot of world building you have to, do, and you have to keep all these elements in your head and all these different characters. So it becomes essential to write an outline for a fantasy. But with horror, it's often that you got one character, maybe a couple characters, and they have to escape the big bad guy. It's not too much more complicated than that, usually. So, but I would say that I did some outlining, more of a beats outline than I did a full on outline of every chapter,
Yeah.
Now, it took me a second to get here, but this is what's coming in the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
I like that cover.
Nice.
Does that look cool? Yes. And in comparison, here's book one. Still,
see, that's
really
a good cover
cool
too, but I do like the new one.
But the new one, it just blossoms. Yeah.
So
the first one, I'll admit, I actually did the covers of the series myself.
Did you?
And then, but when I wanted to, revise it and put it all together, I thought I'm going to get a nice professional cover for it, and that's what I.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So the cover you did you use Photoshop, or was that like you just drew it out? Okay.
No, I used Photoshop and played around with it to get all three, because all three covers have a different same street lamp, just a different figure of the same character. So they're all in robes, and I started noticing that a lot of horror stories and novels and such had the hooded figure on the street, and I'm like, well, dang, I've become a trope now,
Here's your trope trophy.
By the way, we got a couple of guests. We got Anthony Castro watching.
Castro,
get to feeling better, dude. He's sick as a dog right now. Otherwise, he'd be here right now.
Yeah,
and who else?
Lee Edwards.
Oh, Lee.
Edwards.
Hey, Lee.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm glad I got my tetanus shot. Lee's in the house.
Yep.
My dad's going to be watching the recording. He wanted to, catch it live, but he doesn't have a Facebook. He's over 70. He doesn't play with that.
No.
But
generally,
my dad's a writer too.
Is he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh. My dad wrote the 90s, and we actually took one of his old manuscripts and revised it, and we actually put it together and published it. So now he's writing on his own. Now that he's got the system down, he's able to just fly. So he's working on his fourth book now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was cool to work with my dad on his first book, and it's a classic werewolf origin story kind of thing.
Oh, see, that would be awesome.
I love a good werewolf story.
It's great. And Salzman did the audio for that one too.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Shit, I'm gonna have to talk to him about this. Yeah, it's a secret I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yep. Hey.
So right now I'm working on completing my fantasy story. I've got a series that, like I said, my first two books were epic fantasy. Then I switched back over to horror, and now I've kind of switched back to fantasy a little bit. But I'm trying to keep my horror fans happy. So on my website, I've been trying to do short stories. and trying to do one short story a month. And my plan is to try to get them submitted and published in magazines to get a little more national exposure. And then
Sweet.
those that don't get
Nice.
those that don't get accepted or whatever, I'm gonna put into a short story collection and publish it.
Cool.
You know, I like those. I like those little short bangers, especially with somebody like me. I'm always on the go, always busy. So little
Mhm.
short bangers, I love. You know, just keeps that mind going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
plus you
also
get a
saw-
different taste of everything in one book. That's what I liked about Stephen
Absolutely.
King's like Night Shift. You know, you
Yeah.
had same thing when I first
Skeleton
got into
Crew.
Clive Barker. You had his short stories, and it's like this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I loved Skeleton Crew. That's where The Mist came from.
Yep.
That movie, The
Yeah.
Mist, his story.
Yes,
that came
yes.
from Skeleton Crew. It's a good collection.
Well, I guess we're going to rattle off Stephen King short story kind of things. The Two Past Midnight, for me, the Sundog.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I love the Sundog. It's just such a creepy thing, man. Ugh.
So
Probably-
Derek, I wanted to ask you. So, what do you enjoy writing more, fantasy or horror? You know, what do you find yourself enjoying more?
Well, that's tough because I really love fantasy, and my fantasy always has some horror elements into it. So I guess horror is probably the answer to that because I was
Right.
bringing horror into my fantasy. But I love fantasy. So
Right.
Consequences with Chaos. It's kind of like if Stephen King wrote Harry Potter. It's about a prince who has like a schizophrenic kind of problem where he can't tell reality. So one moment he thinks he's in reality, but he's not, and everybody else, just sees him kind of like, fading off and just staring.
See,
So
I like that kind of thing. That's what I loved about the Final Phantasm movie was, you never knew whether that character was really just sitting in the old home or he was really out there fighting the tall man.
Yeah.
the premise of that one is, how do you? People say this is Trump, but it wasn't meant to be a dig on Trump. But they're like, if the guy is crazy, how do you trust him in power? So I always looked at it as, he's got this malady, and people don't know whether to trust him. So it's almost like a coming of age story where he has to prove himself and prove what's really going on. He is not having a true malady. Something's happening to him. So
That's good.
it's
I
really-
like that.
Yeah. So I'm finishing up that series, and then I've got 2 more horror novels ahead of that one after that I got in mind. So
Well, damn, you got a plate full then, man. You're staying
yeah.
busy for sure.
You got everything going.
Now, how do you find
This is,
time?
that's a good question. This is my this will be my my 3rd book this year that I'm getting out. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
pretty
Man.
happy with my production. So
You got
Um,
competition, Angel.
No.
Yep, big time. See who could write the most books in 1 year. Be a
Hey,
battle
go for it.
royale.
We should make that a reality.
Yeah, right.
It's a contest between Derek and Angel. How many novels can you put out in, let's say, well, we'll go ahead, a year. We're just gonna have to keep track.
well,
Yeah,
Coming
I,
soon in
um,
2024.
yeah. 2024. We started at the beginning of next
But-
year, and we're
but
almost
with
at the
the
end of this
cats-
one.
But the catch is, it has to. You can't sacrifice quantity. It's got to be
Right.
a quantity.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I'm playing a little bit of catch up too because back in 2021 I had a stroke. So I've been trying to catch up to my production from then. It really derailed my time for my family and everything. So, it's been a challenge to get back. But I don't usually produce as much as I've been, but like I said, I've been wanting to catch up on these stories, and they won't leave this head until I get them on paper, So,
Say, well, I'd say with the
Um,
gashes in your head right now, you probably got an idea or two leaking out right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly. You might want to plug that hole up real quick.
Well, real quick, going back to the comment about getting exposure, trying to get out there and everything. Nick Plumridge,
Mhm.
go figure, says
Ah,
Yeah.
Nick.
can't beat exposing yourself, mate. Do it in the right place. You'll be famous.
Or
Yeah,
arrested
infamous.
in my
Or
case.
arrested. Yeah. Of course, I had to throw the British accent on that,
Yeah, thank you for
Cause-
that, Jack.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't tell you how
I'll just
thrilled.
bring up one name to pretty much seal that one. Pee Wee Herman found out how much exposure gets you at their own time.
Oh yeah.
And yet, though, when he passed away, he got nothing but praise and love.
Yeah.
Peter
Hey, everybody
playing
goes
and all.
crazy once in a while.
Yeah.
I never held it against them.
Ain't we all just a little crazy anyways? We just got to roll with it.
Just a teeny bit. Just a teeny bit. Well, how often do you find yourself out just doing some random, normal adulting thing, like going to the department store, going to the grocery store, whatever, and you see something, you hear something, maybe even smell something, and it makes you think of a scene?
That's like every trip to Walmart. All of that happens.
Yeah, most of those are tragic comedies.
Yes.
Creature movies.
Hmm.
I find a lot of my inspiration comes from music, or if I like, I'll see something on a show or something and think that'd be an interesting character. By the way, I just read Stephen King's latest novel called Holly, and he again based it on a headline he saw. Elderly couple becomes homicidal killers. And he was
It's good to have a hobby when you're old.
Yeah. So he wrote a whole story revolving around that. It's really good.
Frozen.
Yep, there he goes.
So
He's back. Real quick, Fallon Rains, who I just
Yeah,
love to
hey,
pieces.
Fallon.
Hello, Fallon.
Just got to recently get to
Fallon.
know her. She is awesome.
She
says,
is.
Yes, he
Great.
is.
She said, "Great job, Derek. Healing prayers to you for catching up on all the things."
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, she's awesome. I like him.
Well, so Derek, if you don't mind, and you don't have to give away secrets, but take us through your writing process. An idea hits you. Where do you go there? How do you flesh that out to where we're out there buying your book?
Well, like I said, the biggest part of my process, and that I always thought there's no way I could be a novel writer. I've always liked writing, but I gave up on the idea in my 20s because I had a family coming and I wanted to pay the bills, so I put it aside. And I always kind of told myself that I wouldn't have the capability of being that prolific. But I found that if you actually detail it and outline it, you can write anything. And in this day and age, which is, in my opinion, the best time to be a writer ever, because you got the internet and YouTube, any question you have about the writing process, any question you might have on how to do something, you can find it on the internet or on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes.
I go
so
there
cool.
all the time. Everything.
Yeah. One of my stories I based in Philadelphia, and people were asking me, well, when did you live in Philadelphia? I've never even been to Philadelphia. I just based it on internet research.
Yeah, Google Maps. There you go.
Derek, so when do you have anything when you search on Google? Do you have anything that the FBI might find funny when you're searching up on Google?
Oh, I imagine there are things in there, especially when you're looking up explosives. And I was looking up things on not to give away anything, but how can you taint cocaine?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't want to give that away too much, but let's just say that I'm sure that if they read down on my search history, they'd be questioning, what the hell is he planning here?
Yeah, for real, right?
I have a feeling that at this point, because every writer says the same thing, it's like, the FBI's got to be scratching their head at my search history. I think at this point they look and go, fucking writer.
Oh, he's a writer.
Yeah, he's probably a writer.
The tainted cocaine, that was the giveaway. This guy's writing the book.
Yeah, there's just all these random different things. It's like there's not a pattern here. This guy's all over the place. It's like total writer.
You go from Roman history to rats to horror, No, this guy's just crazy.
Yeah. but in a writer sort of way.
I have a scene in the in a allude where someone purposely bombs the railroad to make it derail, right? A small explosive to make it derail. And I wanted a cargo with hazardous material, basically busting loose. And what would the city do, in that kind of situation? Because he was using it as a way to distract things. So I had to research that, and I'm thinking, man, this looks really bad.
I can imagine accessing city code or evacuation plans, and they're all like, this guy's gonna do something.
Yeah, after you just said all that, Scott Baker's sitting at home on his radio right now going, all right, guys, I'm watching the show. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
He's cool. Don't take him off the list now.
Right. And Nick says, cut it with Conan blow powder. Nick
Conan blow powder.
Conan.
I have another series called Evade, and I had to use. I had a scene where some jet pilots had to decide whether to shoot down a plane or not, and I had to basically do a lot of research to figure out how would they go about it, can they go about it, what would they use. I mean, so right now, like I said, it's a great time because you don't have to do the ride-alongs anymore. You can just research online. You don't have to go and contact people necessarily. You don't have to do the old police ride-alongs to know how they respond to a domestic abuse or something.
Yeah, and I mean that's
it's
true,
not as fun.
Well, no, yeah, it would be more fun to go do the ride-along.
Get more work done that way.
That is very, very true.
I've done several ride-alongs from the back seat.
You and me both, my friend. Whoops.
Exactly.
I'd have caught a ride at some point.
Since I'm here, let me ask you questions.
Well, let me ask you this: how would you rate your barbecuing skills?
Random.
Very.
I liked it, boy. I'm like, what the hell?
I thought I was good, but then my wife took over. She won't let me grill anymore. She likes her stuff like leather. That's the problem.
Oh,
I prefer to have it raw and juicy.
It has to be black.
Yeah, she
Choco.
Yeah,
all right,
it's like we're not having hamburgers, we're having pucks for dinner. So.
Oh God, I can only imagine.
Basically, after dinner, you just throw them on the fireplace, act as like charcoal, just keep the fire going.
Here's your briquettes for dinner, guys.
Hey guys, I'm already in trouble with my wife with that bathroom scene. I don't need more, flames going.
You're already a dead man walking, so just go ahead.
Basically,
pile it on. It's only going to hurt once.
So, but yeah, I don't think my barbecuing skills are bad. It's just like I said, she took over because she likes her stuff thoroughly done.
Well, you could you could have done that for her. All you gotta do is just leave it out there while you go eat.
Yeah.
Derek.
And honestly, I don't feel right about killing an animal and then butchering its meat for nothing. You know what I mean?
And Derek, and I'm sure your wife is the same one who likes the steak well done, correct?
Well, now I have to have mine that way because of my condition and whatnot.
I like mine medium well, medium rare, medium rare.
Yeah, I can't do no rare. If there's that meat juice coming off of it, it's like,
but it can't be well done. And for that, you might as well eat chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Steak tastes like steak. Chicken tastes like chicken, no matter how you cook it.
And to be honest, I'm not much.
It's the texture, it's the texture, man.
Yeah, I don't mind the texture. Little A1, I'm good to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jack, do you like it well done, Jack?
Mm-hmm. I have to. I have to because of my missing intestines. It's Halloween episode, so it's totally fine.
But that makes sense.
Yeah,
I knew you were gutless.
But in my defense, and in defense of all the well-done eaters out there in the world, when I was going to a nutritionist to get my diet set up, to figure out what I could eat, what would be all right, what would mess me up, she said, and I quote, "Do not eat undercooked meat, including steaks." And I said, well, what does that mean? She said, well, everybody that tells you that rare is the way to eat it is eating an undercooked steak?
That's why I don't need it.
For me, it's got to be at least medium. At least medium. Can't go any.
Now, and
less
that's
than
what
medium.
she did say. Medium is okay.
Trapping.
Medium is okay because at least you're getting the temperature to a certain point and it's fine. But anything back from that, you're not
You're
good.
taking
Not
your
good.
chances.
All right. Well, I'm going to stay in the food vein here a little bit. Do you
All
guys
right.
have a favorite restaurant where you live there, Derek?
Well, I would say Joe's Crab Shack is probably our favorite. Both
We got one of
love
those.
crab legs. So,
Okay.
no crab legs. So, yeah, I would say, or Texas Roadhouse. We have that out here. I don't know if you guys.
I have
do.
both. I have both in Nashville. I had to go to
I'm
Nashville
in
to get to 'em, but
Texas.
we have
Of
'em.
course I have it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Kind of goes without saying. And Dan's probably over there snubbing his nose up like, y'all don't know barbecue. You need to come here to this little hole in the wall that's got a hole in the roof and broken front porch.
I
That's
am
the
not a
best food.
barbecue snob. As a matter of
Okay,
fact,
good.
the only reason that I'm an excellent,
Excellent? What the hell
Yeah.
is an
Wait.
excellent?
new
What's in
word.
that way?
Who won?
The only reason I am such a connoisseur of it, so good at it, is because I go and I buy it. I don't cook that shit myself.
I need to be honest.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Freaking owning it. All right. I'm going to stay in the line of let's get to know you a little bit better, but just random shit. What's a
All right.
secret ability that you have? Something that you can do that maybe most of us wouldn't assume that you could?
That's a good question.
I get
My
one
mind's
every
going
show.
in 50 different ways right now. I'm like, God, he's going to say this.
If he says pottery, I'm going to fall out.
Well,
Yeah.
I do like VR games. I don't know. I wouldn't call that a secret ability, but I've been playing this one game for over a year, and I've gotten better and better at it. But
That counts.
it's an
That-
archery game.
Archery
Yeah.
game.
It's even
I've
more
only-
so.
I've done a VR game maybe once, but like me, I bet you're excited as hell about Zombie Road VR game. I know
Have
it's
you
only
heard
going to
about
be in
that?
arcades, but I'm
That's
hoping
where
it
it's
goes
gonna
to a
start.
home version.
It'll go to the home version. I totally think it will. But David Simpson's David Road Zombie
Yep.
Road series,
Yep.
it's being turned into a VR game, or has been turned into a
Nice.
VR game, and is debuting at like various arcades. And you'll be able to go in, and the main character and then two contest winners actually lead you, through all this stuff, and you got to participate, do your part. But they kind of tell you what to do, where to go, and all that as your leaders. And I can't wait to check it out.
With my epic fantasy stuff, I've always thought it'd be awesome to have that world that I've created, brought to life in some fashion. We just recently came back from California. We went out to Universal where they have the Harry Potter world out there, and I was thinking, man, it must blow her mind just knowing how many things that her characters are brought to life in, and all the video
Yep.
games and all the movies, and I just can't imagine.
I'm
That
sure
would be
it blows.
awesome, amazing.
I'm sure it blows her mind when she's counting those dollar bills.
Oh, that too.
A quick comment here. Ryan Willingham says, "Love our Texas Roadhouse. We pick up steak on to-go nights and without shame. North Texas lifers."
There you go.
Yeah. You said you were out in Texas. I don't know if everybody knows, but I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona, and
I know that place very well.
I actually based Elude in Phoenix, Arizona, so I could actually give almost like a tour of the city in different places. So every place that's mentioned in the book, I've actually been to and actually seen with my own eyes. So
that would be a cool. That would be a
lot
cool
of back
way.
streets. There's a lot of back street scenes. Like I said, he's trying to evade the police as well as the killer. So he's had to hide out, and so I learned a lot of different things about it. Just doing the research on that.
See, that would be a cool book signing idea, is to, take some books, have them in a little red wagon, drag along behind you, and take all the people that show up, for the signing on a tour, and then just kind of sign the books as you go and talk to everybody and tell them about why you thought this would be a cool place for a scene, and just
Phoenix
kind of
is a big
meander
city.
through.
It's been a long tour, but I get what you're saying.
I imagine there's a few neighborhoods you wouldn't want to go into, though.
True.
Yeah.
There is that.
Here's your signed book and a mugging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, let's see here. I just want a quick shout out. Carl Meadows. Hello, mate. Hello, Governor. How you doing over the sea there? It's pretty popular. I hear the UK. It's a good place, right?
Carl, I promise you, I will beat Jack's ass for that.
No, I'm going to do it every time anyway.
I know. It just sucks.
Yeah. No. Jack enjoys it.
I know.
Okay.
Beat.
I like a good beating tone on me. What can I say? Nick, our buddy old Nick over there. And once again, sorry, Cole, I'm going to have to because it's a Fredo Brit that's speaking here. So rare, it still calls out for its mama. That's how he apparently likes his steak. And London Blue said, rare is the only way to eat steak. And
I agree with that. You hit a nerve with this whole food topic.
Yeah, it just kind of took on a life of its own. I think Jeff Thompson's somewhere in the building right now.
I think he put that right into your brain. That's why you brought up food. It's the first time we've ever talked about food on the show.
I know, right? That's Jeff. I'm telling you.
Good one, Jeff.
He's doing it. He's doing this stuff to us. He's derailing the train. All right. Well, carry it on, man. Have you actually thought now that the video game thing got brought up, or this case, the VR thing, about maybe reaching out to some of these like smaller developers and like being like, hey, I've got this. You think y'all could do something cool with it?
I've actually thought about doing a screenplay for Elude, but I have so many other things to work, and I kind of lost, my momentum on that. But I did consider for a while doing a screenplay for it. I think it would be a really cool movie. I have it's an action thriller almost versus a horror suspense, but it's pretty. I mean, it walks that fine line,
Yeah, it's got those elements to it, and that's why I say, man, go ahead and do it. Do the screenplay. I mean, the series is complete.
Yeah.
Next natural step is to make the screenplay and start shopping it.
See, this is where the indie writer should be paying more attention to what's going on in Hollywood. The minute those writers go on strike, turn your shit into a screenplay and send it in, because they are going to be scrambling to get stuff to film.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, granted, people are going to hate you for life after the strikes are all over. But hell, what are you going to care?
Who cares? Unless you're
right.
Yeah, unless you're.
They would do it too if they're in their shoes. That every one of them would do it. I mean, everybody has to find their way to the top in some fashion. So.
Well, unless you're specifically want to be a script writer, who cares? You write novels for a living. You don't care. You make it into a script, send it over. Then the Writers Guild will call you a scab. Big deal. I just sold it. Call me whatever you want. I call me rich.
Right.
All right. Well, we're getting a full blown reach out here. Not reach around. Reach out. Out. Damn.
Are they telling me to shut up? Is that what it is?
No, actually, Ryan Willingham says, I need more information on this VR home. Jack messaged me later. Local arcade bar glitches would love this idea. I guess he's talking about the Zombie Road thing and trying to figure out, okay, where do I go find this one? This is what I'm saying. This could be the avenue that a lot of indie, especially horror writers and action adventure writers, that just can't seem to get their footing the way they thought they would with the writing, could still get ahead in the game by getting into a game and having their stuff there. Right. And then that by default could shift people that never even knew it was based on a book to go check out at least the audiobooks. Be like, okay, well, this is based on that. Okay.
Now, if I have to play a video game where I got these psycho green-eyed rats chasing me, I know who to blame.
Yeah, exactly.
But the funny thing is, we'd all play it. So get on that, Angel.
And that would be a fun game, man. Going around just, plinking them off. Then the big giant centipedes come crawling in and they take more shots to take them out. I mean, yeah, dude, I'd be all over that. That'd be a perfect, like what is that? Dave and Buster's or a place like that with the big screens and everybody's got their gun there and they just stand there and shoot. It'd be a great game like that.
I was thinking more like a survival home, like a Resident Evil spinoff or something like that. Like if you ever played the original Resident Evil with the tank controls.
Hell, why not both? I mean, the one like the barn or the I almost said Barnes and Noble. Shout out to you guys. You're awesome. But you would have the one version that's just a simple shooter where people are just, shooting. But
Right.
then you could do the home version that is the actual full scale game.
Cool.
So you
Yeah.
could double dip. You
I
could
get-
double dip.
Yeah, you could select Dan as a next selectable character.
I'll be the character to get killed in every level.
Yeah, he'd be running around with a big purple dildo whacking things.
That's it. Pornhub T-shirt and a dildo.
And a knockable skin.
There you go.
DLC.
Jason Myers pops in. He says, "There's a rat in my pina colada."
Hey, spooks.
That's either a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
I don't think a rat in my pina colada is probably a bad thing. Like
Yeah.
most days, especially if it's trying to eat my face.
You got better places, a little higher standard than your bars.
I don't know if the rat's buying the drinks. I'm okay with it.
If anybody's buying me a drink, I'm okay with it.
Even if it's a rat in my freaking drink, but whatever.
I will be
Anyway.
that rat's best friend ever.
So I got a question for you, Jack. I saw that you actually got your Domino story published in looked like a journal or a magazine.
It is
Word Peddler
actually-
magazine.
Word Peddler magazine. I'm gonna do a slow little turn here and bring her up. There it hangs.
I see it.
Ching.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Oh,
Look
there.
how sexy that is.
Are they taking submissions?
Yes, they
Yes.
are. We just got to
They
get
are.
you a D. We are taking
And-
submissions, all the good stuff, and I mean the
Yep.
magazine is beautiful, man. It's right there with Malice magazine with the quality you had on that. She's
Thank
right
you.
there on point. with it.
It's a top-notch magazine. Somebody who used to buy all the magazines, all the horror ones. I mean, it's full color pages. The articles are really good. A lot of stories, from different people. It's
even,
kind of a
even
nice
my
place
dumbass.
even Jack's dumbass. But
By the way, you should do a sequel. I want to know why the werewolf attacked in the first place. That's what I want to know.
Jack owed it money.
Yeah, yeah, but no,
Jack.
no, there's actually supposed to be 4 other short stories that go along with that are 4 different animals that have their own special abilities, like Domino, and they all wind up coming together at the end to form a little something like a team. And the demonic Bigfoot book that I'm writing, that's going to be the 3rd book, is them going to confront it and fight it. And trust me, there's a whole lot of weird shit going on here. So no, you haven't seen the last of Domino, possibly, and he should be back around again, and we'll see where it goes from
When's
there.
the ETA on that?
2037.
Oh my
God.
I'll be dead by then.
I don't think most of us will be alive by then.
So get your pre-order in now.
Yes.
fine.
Oh,
Me
I'm
and Jeff will
down.
be hanging out. We'll just get a ghost copy.
Exactly. You know what, man? I keep on to kind of get to know you a little bit better, get the people to know you a little bit better, to know why they need to get your books, man. Let me ask you, what is your end game for writing? Why are you doing this arduous, pain in the ass task?
Mainly, I do like the whole process of writing. These stories won't get out of my head until I get them, out on paper, and they're like my children that just, won't go away, won't grow up until I put them to paper. So, I do think that I really don't have an end game. Sure, I'd like to be more popular than I am, and I would love
Wouldn't
to
we
be
all?
in that situation, because right now I work full time. I'm a security officer. I work 3rd shift, so no, my production isn't what I would like because of the fact that I work a full 40-hour week. And I have a family with 3 children, and it's constant busy. Just had in January my first grandchild, a grandson. So,
Oh, and that's really going to eat up a lot of time, man. Grandpa, grandson time. Oh, that's going to be a big one. And then for everybody that don't know, he worked last night. So this dude,
yeah.
he
Sorry
ain't got
for
a whole lot of
mulling
sleep
at
on him.
points.
He's a little wore out right You
Yeah,
know, that's why he tripped on his way in and got the barbed wire around his head. You know,
yeah.
There you go.
You think I know my way around things better?
stumbling along. Now,
Mm.
have you ever thought about writing something? Good example, since Kristen ain't here. Have you ever written any poetry?
No, I've never been one for poetry. But you know, I have read her work. I really like a lot of her stuff.
It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
But I have wanted to venture into other genres. So I considered for a while doing a steampunk story, but I just couldn't find one that storyline that I liked enough to, you know, set aside the stuff I'm working on now to do it. You know, it's hard because you know you have so many pots and pans burning. You know, the things you want to get to, and you just don't have enough time in the day. So
Right now, just to help me out because I can never remember it. What the hell is steampunk again?
steampunk's kind of like a Western slash. Uh, basically, they use steam technology. So it's a
Yeah.
combination of steam technology with Western. So it's a little more modern Western, and it's usually it kind of blends into a somewhat fantasy. So it's
Okay,
an unusual. So basically, think of westerns with a little more, you know, technology twist to it.
like cybernetic cowboys and
Kind of.
Kind of.
horses with like a robotic leg or something. You know,
Maybe a steam powered vehicle
Yeah.
that's shaped like a
Okay.
horse.
okay.
Or a steam powered wagon that would somehow
So
be
that's so
attached to
it
the
is
horse.
steam
Yeah.
powered. Steam is a big part of the whole
Oh yeah,
thing. Okay, because when I think when I think anything punk, I generally tend to think splatter
Steampunk.
punk, and that
Yeah.
tells its own tale right off the rip. So I guess steam is supposed to tell that one right off. I'm just late to the party. Sorry
Steam,
about that.
you know what? You find graphic novels that are steampunk and you get some of the coolest images ever. Cause like Derek said, it's
very visual.
kind of like, I mean, I guarantee everybody's seen it. You see the guy in the old leather duster and he's got these really crazy glasses on that, they're just
Ears.
circular black and usually wear like a top hat with it. It's a cool look. I've always loved it.
Okay, because I'm even kind of thinking of some like certain old Iron Maiden covers, with the Stranger in a Strange Land, kind of how he was decked out.
That one's more like apocalyptic, I think.
Okay, because see, I'm still trying to.
But
learning on the job
worry.
here.
I heard rumor that they opened a steampunk bar up in Austin. I just never went up to check it out.
Well, then go check it out. Get us pictures and post them
Man.
so we can see what it's all about.
The
That's
traffic
Dungeon.
up there, it's not worth it
Oh,
because it's downtown.
No, I mean, and Dungeon's not wrong. Traffic can be a nightmare. I used to live in New York City, and man, it sucks. It sucked balls.
70-mile round trip, the whole trip, not counting the time at work.
I mean, driving here in Puerto Rico, man. I mean, driving down here in Puerto Rico, traffic is almost non-existent. I wouldn't say non-existent, but it's like smooth sailing down here.
Yeah. Even my area is getting bad with traffic. There's such an influx of people moving in.
I'm like that, Jad. You gave me an eagle, and I counted with my own.
Hell, we walked away with a pair of eagles, and Dan is still.
I'm
right
working
now, the
on
count
mine.
is 1
So
and 1
what does
and
that-
0.
So what does that mean, Jad? That means they all set.
Oh, they also okay. I'll go with that. They cancel each other out.
Yeah, they all set.
Now we're setting rules to the Eagles. Man, what the hell? We have lost our minds.
Holding against Jack. And personal foul against me.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
Uh-huh.
So, Derek, let me ask you, dude. Is there a genre of horror that you actually hate? I'm putting you on the spot with that one because there's going to be authors that may watch this that are in those genres and go, but is there one that you just absolutely, I'm not reading that. No way, no how.
I actually can't think of anything as far as horror. I would say the one thing I don't like is when they get gratuitous gore. Like, for instance, I really like Rob Zombie I like his music. I like a lot of what he does, but his House of a Thousand Corpses, I would never see again because it was just over the top to me gore. And
It
I
was.
understand that there's a story behind it, but at the same point, it got too much for me to, it's like, okay, I'm done.
Now,
there's
now
a limit.
does it make you queasy, or is it just it aggravates you? Because I know some people. Okay,
kind of got to the point where it's kind of both. It's like, okay, you're just trying to come up with new ways to top the last scene with your gore. I would say the Evil Dead series is kind of like that, but I still like the Evil Dead series.
Ash, man, Ash owns the show. He will get you through the gore without problems. And so there's a lesson to be taught in that. You can get someone to actually check out your stuff, even if it's a little over the top, if your characters are good. Make your characters good, and you can actually get past the other stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's why I can't recall one character from that House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't recall the story even because it was just literally buried in blood and guts.
I loved it.
Says the guy covered in blood, right?
Right.
Yep. But yeah, I'm with Dan on this one, and obviously Angel too, because hell, he's been reading some pretty hardcore extreme stuff here lately.
Yep.
I love the gore as long as it makes some level of sense. I mean, obviously you got to suspend your level of disbelief and all that.
It's like Hostel. They did that.
Loved
the first 3/4 of that movie was just tits, to be honest. They just showed woman after woman showing the breast, and then they go, oh, let's throw in some gore at the end. It's like, this movie was ridiculous. I'm sorry. To me, that was not a good story. It should not be a classic, as some people seem to think it was.
I won't say I feel like it's a classic necessarily, but just as far as just a good, you want to see some messed up shit go down.
It was a messed up story, yes, but could they have told that in a half hour? Sure. Did they? Basically, they did.
Because I mean, for me, my favorite kill in that one is the Russian. I think she's Russian. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. But the Russian woman that has the chick hanging upside down, and she just comes in and slits her throat and just lays under her while she bleeds out.
Bath.
That's just cold-blooded, man. Like, wow. I did that. I ain't gonna lie.
Terrifier is another one that seems like it's just over-the-top gore for no reason, just to be gore. It's like the character itself was cool. Work with that, build a story on that character. That's why I like Stephen King a lot, because his characters are so critical and so involved. Sometimes they get a little too much character, Billy Summers is one of those where it's a story where 3/4 of the book you're waiting for him to get to the story, and then when he finally does, you're like so invested in that character, you love it. But there is always a fine line with a lot of different things, and I think that that's the hard part for the writers, finding what's going to appeal to most people. You can't please everyone. You just can't.
No,
you cannot. But that's like what I was curious about with that was, when you write horror, you write action adventure, it's like, what is your comfort zone and what do you want to put out? Because they always say, write what you want to read. And so obviously you're not going to write something that's just gore filled. It's just not happening. Even if you were to write a zombie book, chances are you're not going to be describing literally the peeling of flesh away and then all this matter growing out of the body.
I have quite a few parts with gore in it, but it's just like with anything, you got to use it with purpose. Can't just do it to have it on there. You want to affect the reader, and you want to make sure that you're not wasting that effect when you can use it later in the story, to really hit them hard. It's like you can't overwhelm the reader all the time and expect them to have a reaction every single page. You got to make sure that you have the right reaction ahead of time. I just saw a thing on an interview with what's his name, the guy who did Get Out. I can't recall his name right now.
I
it was Peele.
Jordan Peele. Yeah, he said that if you can know and anticipate what the readers are thinking, he says if you know what they're thinking the story is, you can use that as leverage in a way to turn it around on them and to really shock them. He said, that's what I did with Get Out. He said, I anticipated where the reader thought they were going with this and turned it all around on them. And Get Out was a really,
I enjoy that movie quite a bit.
Based on that interview, I had to go and watch Get Out. I hadn't seen it up to this point. I was really impressed with that one.
Okay, well then I definitely need to check that one out. I mean, hell, I'm so far behind on TV shows, movies, like everything.
There's so much out there.
Oh, there is. And like I said, and my problem is I'll wind up just not watching anything. You know, I'll put on like the Weather Channel and have it just playing over here while I'm doing something on the tablet or playing on the computer or something, like not keeping up.
It's
So
so
I've
hard
missed
to
so
watch
much.
and keep up with stuff, and that's saying be productive so that you're not just sitting there watching other people work when you could be doing something, you know.
It's hard to divide your time because I watch a lot of movies. At the same time, I'm trying to write, do writing, but I'm more the movie
I listen
guy.
to a lot of audiobooks now because I just don't have any time at the house to do it.
Audio is the way to go.
Driving, audio, big time, you know.
Yeah, me
but
too.
if I don't,
So,
that's a big key for me. Now, if I hear of a new book and I know it's on audio, I'll jump in on audio first.
Yeah, well,
because I know I'll get to it faster.
All my stuff I really try to get on audio. So almost all of my work is on audio right now.
Excellent.
Sweet. Waiting on my next credit to hit, in fact. Now, just to get a little quick catch up here, Ryan Willingham said he's never seen a pirate horror book. Now, I'm sure there's got to be one out there of some sort that somebody made, but
there's that new movie, something Demeter.
Well, that's the Dracula. That's the Dracula
right.
story.
It's almost horror based.
Oh, it is horror. It's actually a really good movie too. If you guys,
but you know what I mean, Boris. It's not pirate based, but it is ship horror. You know
ship
what I mean?
Based. Well, like a Ghost Ship. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opening scene ever.
Ever. Just the greatest thing ever. Then he said, I guess title suggestion: Zombies and Buccaneers. So
Zombies and Buccaneers. Oh, okay.
He said, I dig a great storyline, no matter the horror level. No story, no love given. But it's got to have a story. If it don't, it ain't happening.
Yeah,
so, I mean, he can tolerate the gore as long as you got a good. Again, it goes back to story, characters. If you care about the people that are involved in this, in fact, you're probably going to feel even worse if they do get shredded in the most heinous of ways, and you like them. You know, that's
why The Walking Dead was so impacting, because you fell in love with the characters, and then next episode you're like, no, we can't take him out. What are you doing? You know. So yeah, I think that was kind of the thing that made The Walking Dead, where its characters, and the thing that kind of failed The Walking Dead were the characters and their deaths, whether they were valid or not. You know.
Exactly. No. All right, well, guys, we are at the 58-minute mark. We have hit the end of this show, and we still got some closing ceremonies to do. But before we get to all that, I want to remind everybody that we are part of Angry Eagle Publishing. They've got a fantastic roster of authors out there that you definitely should go check out. Go find them on Facebook, Angry Eagle Publishing. Can't miss them. Go jump in with them and see what's up with them. But as we always do, Angel Ramon, where can everybody find you?
First of all, before I get to that, I just want to thank Derek, man. Thank you for being a wonderful guest. Thank you for coming back. And really, I owe this guy a lot, because this year I think Jack and others knew that I was getting into a pretty bad depression. I was writing, but then Jack told me about Derek's magazine, and then that's when Pina Canadas and Rights was born. Now, unfortunately, the magazine went belly up, but then I was so invested with the story that I made it into a series. So, Derek, thank you, man. Thank you for giving me my joy of writing back. So, I owe you one.
Wow,
that's amazing.
I appreciate
that actually just got me in the heart just a little bit right there, because it is true. Everything Angel just said is true. You did. He would text me constantly about what you did, man. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So with
you
that,
know,
Mhm. Go ahead, Derek. Sorry.
I was just going to say that, with the short-lived magazine that we were working on, I really got to meet a lot of great people and network with a lot of people that were starting out. And so, I've not been as successful as I'd like, but I certainly feel like, I had something I could contribute. And the fact that you got motivation through with Mouse, it's great. That's great to hear. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate your words.
Yep. So with that being said, P. Canals and Rats is doing well enough that book 3 will be coming this December. So it's on pre-order for 99 cents. Go check that out. Also, all 10 books of my Fifth Survivor series, my zombie series, are 99 cents each from now until this Friday. So you can go check that out as well.
Definitely do
Nice.
that. Well, since he didn't say it, I'm gonna say it because I was involved in it. Well, in a small sort of way. His King Minos series is also out there. So if you want to go find out, how things work out for the people of Manoa, you might want to grab that, along with the Great Centurion, which is a completed series. Hot damn, man. Are you feeling okay today? You're a little peckish. Something's off. We're not getting everything out. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I just felt emotional because I had to tell Derek how much he meant to me in this year and all that, because he really did a lot to help me out.
And see, and that's what
If there's anything I could ever do, let me know. I'm glad to help.
Man, and seeing this is what this show is about. It's not about just us trying to get famous or nothing. No. We're about trying to get writers to keep writing, to keep hyping, to keep pushing, to keep selling, to keep getting people involved, I mean, just because the hosts don't necessarily buy every book of every author that comes on. I mean, for Pete's sake, some of us work in warehouses. We don't have millions of fucking dollars. We do the best we can with what we've got. And if we got to say we got to get to you, eventually we'll get to you, but we're trying.
Yeah, exactly.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're trying. Well, I did put all my links in the comments, so everybody can go check that out. So,
exactly. Thank you so much for that. And I mean, again, these are the kind of stories I want to hear more of, is authors helping authors and people getting things done. And why do I hear music in my head?
Oh, no. I hear it too.
I hear it too, by the way.
Okay, at least
Bobbie.
I'm not crazy.
That might be Bobbie.
Maybe it might be me.
That might be you.
Out there rolling around with the blue check, just bumping the beats. We got it covered. So let's just keep the music rolling while we move on to Dungeondan, because I can finally say this 100% totally true. Ain't no lie about it. Dungeondan, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Amazon. Just look up Dan Uebel, not Dungeondan. That'll point you to a short story. And I am still working on my first book, but it is so close to being done, in which I'm going to hand it off to Angry Eagle Publishing. And we're going to get that out to you.
What's that story about?
It's like I don't want to say what it's about, but it is a horror story. It's got a creature, and it was a lot of fun. I will tell you what the title is if you want.
I was gonna say go with the title. The title.
Yeah, what's the title?
In fact, that'll throw people completely the hell off.
Yeah. Title will fuck with you. The book will be called The Red Dick Defense.
Yes. I mowed that title.
I bet Angel does.
So perfectly.
Trust me, boys and girls, you're in for one hell of a ride. Oh boy,
it's fun.
If y'all seen Dan on the show, you know how we always say writers all have their own voice. It's because it's coming from them. Y'all have met this guy. Y'all have heard this guy. If you've interacted with him on Facebook, there is a disinfectant. But imagine all of that put into a book. That's what you're getting, and it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be fun.
I can't wait. Cannot wait.
All righty. I'm coming on around the curve. Glad you still got a good signal with us there. Blue check, Bobbie J Murphy on her way to do things for the St. Jude Children's Hospital on a cool cruise ship by Carnival. Where can everybody find you?
Other than the cruise ship?
Other than the cruise ship.
Right now in Arkansas. They didn't do the cruise ship. Yes.
Oh, God.
You guys,
please hurry. Go fast.
Right? No, seriously, go to Amazon. That's where you can find me now. Amazon's making it hard on us indie authors, are they not? So you actually got to type in Into the Darkness, Bobbie Murphy to even find me. They're making it hard on all indie authors, which sucks because we have it hard enough as it is. But on that note, I want to give it out a shout, if you all don't mind, please oblige. While I am traveling and doing this stuff, I have my good friend Spook, Jason Myers. He's doing interviews with for St. Jude's Children's Hospital and the suicide prevention hotline for me, cover me, doing what he can.
Flash that ugly face on the screen just so everybody can see it.
What ugly face?
No, he. I think he was with you. He's just helping you from a distance.
No,
okay.
he's covering my other podcast and all that.
Okay.
He was actually supposed to be here with me. St. Jude's wanted him to come on with me on the cruise ship, but unfortunately, schedules. We're busy. We're very busy people. We take on a lot. And here's the thing: if you're indie authors, support St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Support suicide prevention. We are voices. All right. These people need help. Those little warriors out there for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, those families, they need help. That situation that those folks are in, it's more scarier than any horror book or movie out there.
Yeah.
It's a rough battle. Okay.
Yes, I know someone with cancer. I know.
Yes, and those little precious babies, they need us. Support them, support these families. St. Jude's covers everything for these families. And that's the reason why we do what we do. We don't get recognition, we don't get paid. Money comes out of our pocket doing what we're doing. But to me, and for Spook, Jason Myers, it's worth every bit of it.
Oh, well, hang on. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Yeah, we've even got like Kristen Benson. She's made some crafts that she sent down. I got a cool keychain that happens to say
upside down.
Yes.
So, got that rocking. So yeah, man, anything you can do to help out St. Jude's Children's Hospital, man, just go do it. You know.
A good shout out to Mr. Jay Bowers. I'm going to try to remember all of them. If I forget anybody, I'm apologize. Matthew Lupton, you, Jack, Kristen Vincent, Jason Myers, Nick Robertson. I got a slew. If you go to my Facebook page, I got a slew of authors. Richard Ross. They all send in their work. We're making the baskets. We put money into these baskets. We raffle them off. We raised quite a bit of money on these little cruise ships for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And I could not be more prouder of the indie author community, putting their personal feelings aside against, because everybody got bad blood, but I don't know what the deal is. But everybody puts their drama, put those feelings aside, get out there, help these babies out, help these families out. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, it's about St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Damn, Skippy. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Exactly.
In fact, I probably couldn't have said any of that myself. It was pretty fucking amazing. All right, back now to the guest of honor, the man that got the Halloween weekend, the one, the only, the guy that actually has the best freaking Halloween costume. I thought I had at least a shot. I got nothing.
Yeah, that was my creative. All I got is this helmet and chainmail.
Yeah, well, see, and I got my dadgum helmet. It's right here. You see it. It's real, but it doesn't work.
Well, all I got is Jason and boobs. That's it, so.
Okay,
winner.
Correction, new winner. Bobbie J wins the costume contest.
Yeah, there you go.
But what you do win, Derek, for your appearance on the show today is you get to tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay. Well, I have my own my author website. It's authorderekbarton.blog. I do try to write at least 2 to 4 blogs a month. You can also find me on Amazon, Kindle, and I'm also, all my stuff is on the Audible. So, but yeah. So I mean, like I said, I'm trying to basically catch up on my production and satisfy the fans, especially the ones that have been waiting since 2016 for me to conclude my series. So,
well, dude, you have done a fantastic job. Like I showed everybody at the beginning of the show. If you weren't here at the beginning of the show, shame on you. But dude, I'm digging this story. I want to know how much more crap you're going to put this poor guy through. I mean, good
you
Lord,
won't believe it.
you must have a tortured soul inside of you. What the hell is going on here? But it's so well done. The new cover looks absolutely amazing. Dude,
Yep.
thank you for being on the show. And I guess you can already assume this won't be your last appearance. So we will be
Better not
having
be.
you.
Thank you for having me on. I'm glad to reconnect with you guys.
Dude, love it, love it, love it. All right, guys. Well, let's get everybody back home because I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to get a little hungry. We were talking about food earlier, and now I'm kind of got me thrown off for the last hour.
I got to take a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of
And clean a bathroom.
Clean the
Yeah,
damn
the wife
bathroom.
isn't home yet, so I'll look out.
Yeah, if we get some weird news article tomorrow, like on Fox News, man killed in bathroom, head shoved down toilet because of blood splatter. It's like, okay, yep, Derek's gone.
Derek's gone.
That would suck. Anyway, for Dungeondan, my liege, Angel Ramon, kicking it with us when she can, Miss St. Jude herself, the one and only blue check, Bobbie J. Murphy, our guest of the week, a dude that I seriously admire and I am so proud of, and I am so glad you fought through that stroke, man, because I lost my best friend to one of those. So good on you, bro. Good on you, bro. Keep doing your thing. Keep fucking writing. This is the Book Asylum podcast. I am Jack Childress. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.
What we got
Bye,
next week?
guys.
Bye.